Welcome to the Soul Script, where souls speak and journeys unfold. I'm your host, TakiTheHuman. Let's get into the video. All right, so today we're going to be talking about anxiety, and actually I want to make this kind of a series of some sort, you could say. And I think the best place to start with this is to talk about what anxiety is, what it kind of feels like, what does anxiety really mean. So I think let's start, of course, with a definition of anxiety. So according to the dictionary, anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease about something with an uncertain outcome. So there you have it, the Oxford Dictionary definition of anxiety. Now, I think we all experience anxiety on different levels. Some people experience it on a much greater level compared to other people, but we all feel it in some way, in some form, and it's a very uncomfortable feeling. And really what it is, it's the unclarity about something, right? The confusion about something, the uncertainty of an outcome. You have a job interview coming up. You are super anxious about it because you want to make sure you do well. You want to give it your best because you also you want to give it your best. You hope you get the job, and you just don't know what's going to happen. You go out there, you put your heart on the line, and they say to you, "We'll call you back. Don't call us. We'll let you know." All of that, and then you sit and you wait, and you're waiting because you just don't know what the outcome is, because you went into that interview, you went into the environment expecting an outcome, right? Which is normal. It's normal human behavior. That is how we are wired. We are wired to know and understand that if I do something, I get a certain outcome from doing said thing. Even more examples, let's look at little kids, babies, toddlers, right? A toddler knows that maybe if they want to get ice cream, they must say, "Please, can I get some ice cream?" And they know that they've asked the mom for the ice cream or the dad for the ice cream, and because they said it politely, they will get the ice cream. Maybe they wanted ice cream and they demanded it. Maybe they were hitting their parents or whatever. Parents says no. They know that, okay, by doing this, I won't get the desired outcome. So this is kind of like pushed into our heads from young. You do something, this is the result. You don't do something, this is the result, right? Also how we are kind of told, like the formula in life, also how we're told is you go to school, do good in school so that you can go to a good university. You go to university, you're told to do good in university so you can get a good job. You're then told if you have a good job, you can then start a family, you can get a good house. All of this, it's like that's how we've been made to operate. But what happens in the situations where you do what you're told, you do everything like they tell you to do? You go to school, you work hard, you try your best, you go to school, you go to college, you go to varsity, you try your best. You try to get a job, it doesn't come, but you did everything else that you were meant to do. It sucks, right? It's not a nice feeling. And I think that's where a lot of this anxiousness comes from. And what I'm realizing these days, actually, now that I've gone through my fair share of anxiety and anxiousness, something I've also realized about myself is that I am somebody that is highly anxious. I don't think I've never been diagnosed for anxiety or anything like that, but I know how I experience it. I am somebody who is highly anxious. I am the type of person who, when you park at a mall or whatever, and let's say the ticket thing says 0 to 30 minutes free. I'm the type of person, even though I've been there for 10 minutes, I will still go to the ticket booth, put the ticket in to see it saying free. So I know that the outcome is I'm going to be out of here and not pay anything. That's how anxious I get about a lot of things. I'm a very anxious person. But the reason why I'm anxious, that will be in part 2. Because that's also more things I've thought about and everything, but that'll be for another episode. So I am somebody who is incredibly anxious. And recently I kind of went through like a anxiety spiral and an anxiety loop. for the people out there watching this, if you relate, if you're somebody who is intensely anxious and you keep replaying situations over in your head and you keep talking to yourself about these things and it just keeps playing over and over and over and over and you keep overthinking it and you just keep opening different doors, but all those doors you open lead you back to the same place with anxiety, the same place of anxiety, right? So recently I found myself in a situation where I was feeling incredibly anxious, like it was pretty bad. And I stumbled across this video by this lady called Sabrina Zohar. And what was the cause of my anxiety actually had to do with the whole dating space, the whole dating scene. I was in the whole dating, I was dating, I was going on dates and stuff. And somebody I took a liking to, yeah, they ghosted, they became cold, became distant, and I just didn't understand what really happened. But anyway, so that kind of threw me through the ringer because I really believed I showed up. I really believed I was intentional. I really believed that I made the effort to connect with this person, and I really believe I did do that, and I'm glad I did do that because I always want to put my best foot forward, and I also strongly believe in love and showing somebody, and I'm somebody who's not scared to show my interest. But anyway, so I was feeling a lot of anxiety. Then I came across this video by this lady called Sabrina Zohar, and she was speaking about anxious attachments, which is again something we'll speak about in another video. But she spoke about that anxiety and everything when it comes to dating people and getting to know people. And something she actually mentioned is when you're feeling that anxiety, right, you actually have to pinpoint where in your body you're feeling it, right? So for me, I felt it in my stomach, and that's where I felt a lot of my anxiety. Even actually in therapy, I said the same thing. I feel a lot of my anxiety in my stomach, like it's all there, and it's a very like uncomfortable feeling. It's kind of like butterflies, right? So I felt it there in my stomach. And she goes on to say, okay, once you've pinpointed where you feel it, you now need to kind of ask yourself, how old do you feel? And I was like, how old do I feel? Interesting. Thought about it, and I realized I actually felt like my teenage self. So grade like 7 to 9 to 10. That's how I was feeling. And basically, once you can pinpoint the age of how you feel, then you can deal with it. And by dealing with it, it's like you can kind of talk to yourself and talk to that version of yourself. Because your anxiety actually, it's not a bad thing, right? It's uncomfortable, yes. It feels bad, yes. But it's actually a sign. It's actually a signal to you that there's something in you that you've not dealt with yet. There's things that you've gone through in your life that you've not dealt with. And those things are coming up again. And it's basically you just feeling triggered. And it's like you have to now just deal with how you're feeling. And you know what a lot of us do when we feel anxiety? Some of us, might go and just start working. Open your laptop, get working, start a new project, start a new business, whatever. Some of us might go find somebody else to date. Some of us might go do drugs. Some of us might go do alcohol. Some of us might go binge watch, whatever. But a lot of us avoid it. And what I normally do, especially when it comes into the whole like dating space, that I would actually go and find another person to start talking to, right? Because then I feel better. I'm like, yeah, they're lost. Someone else is gonna like me. But already, that just shows me, and that just tells me that I'm actually not dealing with what I need to be dealing with, and I'm actually still coming from a place of anxiety, right? I want somebody else to make me feel better, but why can't I make myself feel better? And that's what your anxiety is telling you. It's like it's telling you it's different parts of yourself that are telling you that right now I'm not okay, and I've not been okay. But you keep ignoring me. Listen to me, focus on me, right? So I did that, and I realized that's how I felt, and I had to speak to him. And I realized that why I was feeling so like anxious and kind kind of beating myself up in a bad space is because that version of me has always kind of felt like he needs the validation of women to feel good about himself. That version of me. Not the me today, but I guess we're still intertwined, right? But that version of me really felt like that. That version of me felt like, oh, if I have a girlfriend, everything's gonna be okay. If I have a girlfriend, that means I matter. If I have a girlfriend, if I have a partner, it means I'm worthy. It means I'm enough. Right. And that's also another reason why I keep saying this whole thing about you are enough. I'm not only saying it to you guys, but I'm also saying it to myself as a reminder that I'm enough regardless of the job I have, the place I stay in, the partners I have or don't have. I'm still enough. So I had to speak to myself. And it was such a therapeutic experience because now I understood where that wound was coming from. And I understood that there's still a wound there that I have to deal with. So the next time you're feeling very anxious about something and you're feeling very, uncomfortable about yourself, especially about yourself, not necessarily the jobs, right? Like that anxiety, I get it, but I'm saying when you start feeling bad about yourself, just realize that there's probably a version of you that is asking for love right now, that's asking for attention, that's asking you to be there for them. Because the you who you are now, the adult version of you, the you today has the knowledge, the you today has the skills that the you when they were 15 doesn't have. So Taki when he was 15 doesn't know how to deal with this. He doesn't know how to deal with this feeling. But Taki today at 28 knows how to deal with it better. Knows that, you can't control what people say, what people do. If someone ghosts you, they ghost you. You have no power over that. But you've got control over yourself, how you react to it, how you move on from that. And if someone ghosts you or whatever, it actually doesn't mean that you are bad or there's anything wrong with you. Majority of the time, right? But 15-year-old Taki doesn't know that. 15-year-old you doesn't know that. 15-year-old you still thinks that they are the problem. And that's why you need to always show yourself, especially you today, you always need to show yourself love and grace. You have to. You actually can't shame yourself into getting better. It's love. It's love. You have to love yourself and give yourself the love that you didn't get when you were younger. You have to do it. You have to do it. And literally, I just apologize to myself, man. I really apologize to myself for not being there for him, not seeing him, not accepting him for who he is. And I know it sounds weird, right? But it's real. It's real. Don't silence that noise. Don't silence the noise. That noise is telling you something. That noise is telling you something. Listen to it. Listen to it, but approach it with love and grace. Exactly the same way that you would in your relationships, right? The exact same way. People you want to date, whatever, I'm a lover girl, I'm a lover boy, whatever, but you're a lover boy and a lover girl for other people and not yourself. Why? And also, what we don't actually realize is that a lot of people that you meet that are actually toxic to you and whatever are actually a reflection of yourself. Actually, I wrote something here, and I think this is for the moment where you start questioning yourself and you need to ask yourself, what do you need right now? And sometimes the answer is silence. Sometimes it's please don't leave me again. That's when the real healing begins. Not by pushing through, but by turning toward the version of me that never got held. I don't heal by being perfect. I heal by staying. By being the person I needed when I was younger. Your anxiety isn't a flaw. It's your memory trying to protect you. So let it speak. Guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Please like, share, subscribe, share with somebody else who needs to hear this. You are enough. This is the Soul Script. Till next time. Bye.